Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, there's a new Navy Federal Credit Union hack, okay? That's an actual scam, all right? And here's the thing about it. This here scam has been going on for years, all right? The thing about it, these idiots figure they're going to come up with something more sophisticated, all right? So here's the thing about it. Their situation is that I continue to tell you guys, stay away from CPN numbers. Now, for some of you all may not know what CPN numbers, credit privacy numbers, all right? That's number one. Won't you keep that in mind? Number two, I've told you guys, stop buying Navy Federal access codes, okay? And the reason you don't want to buy these codes, because when they sign you up, when you join Navy Federal, when you use this access code, and they figure out that you are not associated with anybody with that access code, then what they end up doing, they end up closing down the account, and they're filing fraud charges against you and whoever else has that access number, all right? So that's not the bigger part of the scam, all right? I just want you all to know that so you can understand, all right? So here's the situation. Idiots, what they're doing, they're using CPNs, credit privacy numbers, okay? And they're creating fraudulent driver's license and social security cards, all right? Then what they're doing is somebody will make up a check in that CPN's and that person that has that CPN name and number, right? That number and that name and that address, okay? What they're doing, they're having people go to like Carvana. They'll have them to go to like CarMax or Car Gurus, right? And they will pull a VIN number, okay? They'll pull a VIN number and they will make up a check, okay? Saying that you're purchasing this check from somebody and this is the VIN number, okay? So they're in with Navy Federal. These people are going to Navy Federal because they bought a fraudulent access code, more likely, okay? And since they're a member of Navy Federal, they're taking these checks to Navy Federal to try to cash them. Now, that's not the bad part. Here's where it gets worse, all right? They have the fake IDs, okay? Now, I've told you in the past where I've had clients that had CPN numbers with the IDs and stuff, and they've been met at the bank. They've been met at the bank with the police because they would get approved for a car loan and then they would go for a personal loan. And then when they go for the personal loan, that's when they have to go in and sign the documentation and then they're met with the police, okay? Now, here's the thing about this here. These people, they do not have a bill of sale. They do not have a vehicle title, nor do they have a registration, okay? So these people, they decided, well, they went to one bank, one Navy Federal branch, and they said, no, we're not going to cash it. It doesn't look real. Then they went to another one. See, here's the thing about those checks. When people are making those checks out, okay, especially like if it's a certified check, on the bottom of those checks, it's going to tell you which reserve bank that check is coming from, okay? So if they cannot recognize that reserve bank from those numbers on the bottom of that check, then they know that it's a fraudulent check. And so most idiots, they assume that, oh, these people ain't up on it. No, you're assuming they're not up on it. These people have been doing this for years. They know what people are doing. They know when they see a fraudulent check. They know in reference to the dies that's on the check, the stamps that's on the check. They know all of this about these checks. They're check readers. When they try to put it in the system and it doesn't go through a register, like I said, when they put that in the system, they're looking for the dies, they're looking for coding, they're looking for the numbers, they're looking for all of this on the check. And so you assume somebody creating the check. I'm going to tell you a different scam, and this back in the days, guys used to actually rob banks. They would have somebody create a payroll check, which is a real payroll check. However, they would create the payroll check off of somebody else's bank account that has money in it. So what they would do, they would have somebody on the inside of the bank that would go inside the bank and they would put the check in. Then somebody else is working at the original bank where they got that information from, they would actually release those funds. This is how these idiots was robbing banks back in the day. I'm telling you, these scams that a lot of people think they're just coming up with, this stuff ain't brand new. This stuff is not brand new. These people have been doing this for years. So for individuals thinking that they're going to be able to take advantage of the system, they're getting caught up. If you all go look at, what is that, JT Pocket Watcher, that CPA out of St. Louis, all right, and recently he had been talking about, what's the guy name? Him 500, the play that he had been suggesting people used, as well as Bandman Kivo. Okay, now I'm not saying that these guys did anything, because I don't know anything about these guys. But what has happened, again, JT Pocket Watcher, he has been pointing this out. These guys are the ones that are encouraging these other people. If you want to get on, get a CPN number, you know, then run the play this way or whatever. I'm telling you, guys, people do not mind helping you go to jail. All right? They don't mind helping you catching a case. And I'm telling you, especially in this type of political climate that we're in now, you do not want to be screwing around with people like that. All right? This is not the time to be taking chances on your life or risking chances for your family or whatever. Trust me, a lot of these people, and it's sad because the majority of times when I'm hearing about a scam, it all bases usually out of, a lot of times I've seen most people come out of Atlanta. Now, I'm pretty sure California, New York is all over the place. But this here Atlanta hub is one of the biggest hubs that they continue to point out whenever it comes to scams and stuff. I have been to Atlanta. I never stayed in Atlanta. I have family that stays there. But one of the biggest challenges, I guess, I don't know if it's because it's a bigger population of minorities of our kind. I don't know what's going on. But I'm telling you guys, this here type of situation is going to get a lot of people in trouble. Please stay away from CPN numbers. All right? Like I said, I've been in this game a long time. As a matter of fact, many of you all may know who I am originally in reference to dealing with that CPN stuff. And I've been telling people for a long time, people do not understand that stuff. And they're using other people's social security numbers, kids' social security numbers, and they're attaching an adult's name with it. They're using dead people's social security numbers, and they're attaching other people's names with it. I'm telling you, please, if by anything you listen to me when I tell you stay away from CPN numbers, all right? So I hope this helps you. If you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.